Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today I want to pour my last Christmas in July video, and I've chosen one of the Gnome inlayers. It's an inlayer from MoldsandShapes and I really love these. I've ordered these last year and I used it in a trinket dish. So this time I thought I'd use it in the Christmas bulb with the ribbon. So first I thought I just brush a little bit my gnome. So I'm using here the gold for the head and later for the feet and the arms. And I'm using such a sponge and it works very good. So you don't have so much problems with the leftover powder. You see what I'm doing here. I just brush it, and the gold I'm using here is metallic gold. It's from Art and I thought it might look quite good. I've brushed later on also the snowflakes and the nose of the gnome and the beard, but I found this didn't work too well with the products I've been using. I used a white powder, I used the orange for the nose, and for the snowdrops I used the Aurora violet from let me think, Laura's Art Corner, the violet, and I will tell you later what else I did. But you see it's not very bright, so I don't know what's happening. Here I mixed now into the ultra cast resin some of the golden matte flakes from Petra Jungblut, and I thought it's a nice color. It's not too bright gold and it matches with the head of the gnome. So I also had some pigment drops in blue. Then I added some blue chameleon flakes into my resin and also some of the Aurora violet into my resin. And this is gonna be like my sky for this pour. So I want to do like a little bit wintry scenery on my bulb, and I'm curious if this is gonna turn out well. So it's this time not particular a video where I do special effects like with pouring things together. It's more a little bit designing using my fantasy and to see what I can achieve. So this is my first layer. I also use a little bit here of the flakes, so my mold is getting fuller at the top. And I also hope that the ribbon will be like the ribbon is, because I expect the blue also to pull upwards. And this is what, resin is doing. So there I had my white. I had the white pigment drops from Art. I mixed quite opaque. And here I have one drop of the blue and some of the pigment drop in berry. I need to think about what the color's name is. So I get this little purple tone, and I also added some of the Aurora violet in there because I want to have this sheen. And then I just pour some white, and I hope for getting some effects with my white, so I have a good basic, a good background to work on later with my Christmas bulb. But you will see it. I also add a little bit of the transparent resin on my blue, and so that you get some nice effects on the other side. And I'm also adding here a little bit more of my white, and I am just, using the white, and then also a little bit in the sky, that there are little effects in the background so that the whole piece gets depth. That's why I also didn't mix my colors too opaque, because I wanted to have this clearness. I wanted it to be transparent. And here I still have some clear resin left, and I'm adding it into my ribbon because my mold was still not full. But at the end it's quite full, and then I can just let my resin do whatever it needs to do. Here I'm using the heat gun just a little bit to pop some bubbles. There, please be very careful that you're not burning, especially the ribbon, because you see it's very delicate there, and it would be a shame if your resin would be stuck to the silicone mold. So this is what I'm doing. I just add a little bit more of the white, but it's only to use up the colors I still had, and yeah, just to let my resin do whatever it needs to do, just to let it work, and hopefully to have really a nice background for the whole piece. Yeah, I was watching here a little bit, and then I used the rest again. And yeah, I'm just going wild there. I just pour and use all the colors I still had. Here's also still a little bit of the clear resin, because I also still had a little bit space in my mold, and yeah, my cups weren't empty. And why should I chuck all the resin or the leftovers? Just use what you have. And this is what I'm doing now. And by the way, while I'm still pouring and doing whatever I need to do in my mold, I want to refer you to Art of Chester Cat. She does a giveaway today. I think her video is already online. I think it went early online, maybe 6 p.m. European time. And she has a little giveaway. And she still needs a few subscribers just to achieve 2,500 subscribers. So if you like to have a look at her channel, it's well worth it. She does very extraordinary work, just some things really out of the box, and she's amazing. So I will link her channel into my description box so you can have a look and maybe join her giveaway, because yeah, I guess it will be fun, and the giveaway will be a fantastic giveaway. So just have a look for her, and yeah, I would be happy if you support her. And with this being said, you know, I just fiddle around a little bit more with my mold, with my design, and then I can almost give it a final torch, and then I can show you the close-up, how it's looking now. And it looks quite wintry, so I'm very curious how it's looking on the other side. But you never know, especially because I used like flakes. I used the Aurora violet. There are different pigments than I normally use for effects, and yeah, I still hope that I get a nice effect on the other side. And I want to see how the gnome is looking. So this is the next day. I candy mold. I'm very curious how this turned out. And it really pops out easy out of this mold. You see it. And then I can show you. And this is the mold. It's the L size. And let's have a look. And there I was a little bit disappointed, because I hoped for more effects, but I was not finished yet with doing what I wanted to do. So I'm getting my inlayer out, and I'm happy that I don't have any overflow, that the resin didn't sneak underneath. But also here, like I said, some colors are just far too pale. And this is when I decided I just need to work on the gnome. I need to do a little bit different. And yeah, this is a learning process. I'm sometimes not so good in doing this with painting the inlayers. So I thought I use some UV resin, and I start just with the sky. I mixed here some white, and the white are the pigment drops from Etta Art, and I mixed some Aurora violet. So I mixed it into UV resin. I'm using the UV resin from Let's Resin, and now I'm taking my dotting tool, and I just color those snowflakes which are around the gnome. You see it, I just take my time to do it, just to fill them up so that there's more white and that the whole thing gets also more depth, because I don't know how to say this, when you put your drops on there, because this is now the pouring side, you really have like a drop lying on there. And when you top coat it later, you really have a 3D effect. And this is what I wanted to achieve. I hoped, of course, that I didn't need to do the drops inside, but it was logical. I didn't use a white, so yeah, I needed to put the UV resin on those little parts as well. And now I just let it cure. I also have this UV lamp from Let's Resin. And you see I did all the snowdrops or the snowflakes. And then I also did the nose. I did the beard. And yeah, it's already looking like something. I didn't show you every single step. The gold I left how it was. And now I'm busy with the bottom part. And I want to do like snow. Like a snow scenery, and I used some of the dish soap, used my UV lamp again. I think you saw this technique already, and I think it's looking very cute. I also made sure I made lining just with the whitish color, and yeah, I really like it. And now I'm just doing my final top coat. You see also that I made a rim around the bulb. I just used a golden pen. I also did this with the inlayer, but just on the buffer part for the sky, but not below where the snow is. But anyway, now I'm just top coating everything, and I did some PVA glue underneath my bulb, and yeah, it helps, you know, later on to tear this off. So I didn't show you the whole process about top layering. I think you have seen this also many times. But there you go. I'm just showing you how easy this goes off with the PVA glue. And you get most of it off in one go, especially when you have a larger piece. And then it was only a little bit fiddling with the ribbon. But this was also okay, because you can easily tear this off. And yeah, it's nice. So I hope you saw what I did with the UV resin, with the dishwater soap. Sorry. I just added some of my white for my snow. I added the dishwasher soap on it, and I had the UV lamp and let it cure, and then you had this effect. But look at this in my final result. I'm very happy with this. I love how the sky is looking, like a lot of stars. I love the snow, and I love my gnome. So, and this is now the end of the video, and I'm wondering if you liked it, and it's something different from what I'm normally doing. Anyway, with this, I love and leave you. I thank you for watching, and take care. Bye-bye.